2 years after the conflict in San Francisco, the Alpha Omega human militia is on a mission to locate Caesar's ape colony. Assisting them are apes derogatorily labeled as donkeys, including the gorilla Red. During an assault on an ape outpost, the apes successfully repel the attack, sparing only a few militia survivors. Opting for peace, the apes release the surviving humans, but Red manages to escape from an albino gorilla named Winter. Meanwhile, Caesar's son, Blue Eyes, and Rocket return with news of discovering an oasis, a potential haven for the colony. Determined to eliminate the apes, the militia's colonel leads an infiltration team, resulting in the deaths of Caesar's wife, Cornelia, and Blue Eyes, mistaken for Caesar himself. However, Cornelius, Caesar's other son, survives the attack. Caesar sets out for vengeance alongside his trusted advisors Luca, Rocket, and Maurice, while the rest of the apes head for the desert. Along the journey, they encounter a mute girl whom Maurice befriends. They later encounter Winter, now a captive of Alpha Omega, who confesses to revealing the colony's location to Red. Caesar inadvertently ends Winter's life to avoid detection by Alpha Omega troops. The group encounters a mute soldier who reveals crucial information about the colonel's intentions. They are aided by an intelligent ape named Bad Ape from an old zoo, who leads them to a military facility. However, their attempt to approach results in Luca's death and Caesar's capture. Much to his dismay, Caesar discovers that his entire tribe has been taken prisoner and is being forced to build a wall for the colonel. Following an incident where an elder ape is responsible for an accident and is subjected to punishment, Caesar bravely intervenes on their behalf, enduring whipping and torture in their place. He learns about the colonel's conflict with the Northern Army and his desperation to contain a mutated strain of the simian flu, which causes mutinous and regresses humans to a primitive state. Affecting even his son, the colonel admits to sacrificing him to save humanity. Maurice, Rocket, and Bad Ape discover an underground tunnel that leads out of the facility. Later, the mute girl decides to sneak into the facility and gives Caesar her rag doll, water, and food provided by members of his tribe. As guards arrive, Rocket allows himself to be captured to prevent her from being discovered. The next day, the colonel pays a visit to Caesar's cell to see if he's still alive and finds the rag doll. He questions its presence and confiscates the doll. As Bad Ape discovers an entry point into the prisoner cells via the tunnel, Maurice names the mute girl Nova, inspired by a car emblem they stumbled upon at Bad Ape's dwelling. Bad Ape makes contact with Rocket, who then devises an escape plan with Caesar. While the apes escape, the facility comes under attack by the Northern Army. Caesar confronts the colonel, who has succumbed to the same muteness as Nova. Caesar spots Nova's doll and refrains from killing the colonel, who decides to take his own life. In the ensuing chaos, the fleeing apes come under attack by Alpha Omega forces. Caesar attempts to attack from the rear but is fatally wounded by militiaman Preacher. Red, witnessing the brutality, turns against Preacher but is killed by his superior officer for his actions. Caesar blows up the facility's fuel supply, wiping out Alpha Omega, but the explosion triggers an avalanche, burying the facility and its occupants. He, Nova, and the remaining apes survive by climbing nearby trees. Following the ordeal, the apes reach the oasis. Maurice notices Caesar's wound and assures him that his legacy will live on through Cornelius. With the apes settled in their new sanctuary, Caesar peacefully passes away.